Hello. Excuse me. Hello. Welcome to Strange Talk with Doc. Hope everything is going well with you. You know how we do it here. And once again, I apologize for my voice right now, but it will work itself out. I just want to say that we are on like day 12 of this Russian Ukrainian thing. I wanted to just mention that first. This is not a political podcast. We do talk some politics, but I'm not going to go into detail on a war. That's not my forte. That's not my expertise. But I do want to start off by saying a completely honest person cannot be conned, even by the world's best con artists. I'm going to explain it to you. Now, I didn't say you can't be cheated, you can't be robbed, you can't be fooled, or you can't be tricked. I said you cannot be conned. A person that is looking for a con is also looking for a mark that's looking for something for nothing. If you were looking for something for nothing, you can be tricked, you can be fooled. But if you're a person who is always honest with yourself, like, okay, I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios. A week or two ago, I get a strange text message. Hey, blah, blah, blah. How are you doing? So I hit the person back and say, no, not me. You're talking to the wrong person. So she sends me a picture. I guess this is to entice me. It wasn't a nude or anything, but to entice me, I still was not interested. I said, I'm a married man. It's not my ball game. I pick and choose if I was going to play games who I play with. Okay. So she tries to keep the conversation going. So this was a plan or a trick in her way to get me to either one, send her some information or click on a link to something that does not belong to me. You get these emails about packages that you know that you did not order, but they want you to sign in and they will send them to you freely. So you are waiting and you are susceptible to being conned. Now I'm going to go into later. I got airbrushed this week, the Amazon brushing. I was a victim of Amazon brushing. This was due to no fault of my own, but I'm kind of glad in a way that this happened because it allowed me to secure my websites, change passwords, change codes, do double verifications, and a whole bunch of other things. You got to remember, if something don't smell right or don't feel right, question it. Question yourself. You have to admit to yourself who you are and what you are. Are you a person looking for the cheap? I mean, I lived in New York City, man. We had three comp Monte. We had the shell game. I knew from young when somebody is just telling you, we just throwing money at you for no apparent reason that you did not earn, that you do not deserve. So you have to think about what you earned, what you deserve, and then read in between the lines. You know, you're going to lose every once in a while. Nobody's perfect, and you have to accept the fact that you can lose. But when somebody's giving you an opportunity for a golden opportunity, a no can lose opportunity, you are being fooled. You are being tricked. You have to have the mentality of the handout. You have to be able to say, I want to earn it. If somebody comes up to you, like I said, once again, I know I'm belaboring this point, with a golden, cannot believe opportunity, you have to say to yourself, did I do anything in this universe to deserve such a gift from a stranger when there are other people who may be more deserving? Not to say that you don't deserve the best of everything that you possibly can get in this world. I'm sure you do feel that way. But it's just we have to be realistic. Con people out there, they're everywhere. They run into you at Walmart, they run into you at a grocery store, they run into you in a parking lot while you just going to work. And they will plant these seeds. They practice planting these seeds. They practice against Mr. and Mrs. Jones. This is what they do. They practice what's called the art of the comeback. The comeback is anything that you can say to a person to deter them from getting what they need. They have a answer to it. So you have to be on your P's and you have to be on your Q's. So once again, if you are a completely honest person, you cannot be conned. You can't. You have to come to the determination that maybe you're not as honest as you think you are. Okay? So Farrah Folk was an actress on Wings and Lewis and Clark. She died at the age of 54. Ned Eisenberg, you've seen him a lot of times on Law and Order SVU. He was always playing the defense attorney of some really job-ass clients. He died at the age of 65. Johnny Brown, who played Bookman on Good Times. He's a comedian, a singer, impersonator, one of the world's worst impersonators ever. It used to be funny watching him do the Ed Sullivan and things of that nature on Good Times. He died at the age of 84. Michael Ryan, he was a character actor, and he played the retired general in Lethal Weapons movies and the ex-con in the old TV show called The Dark Shadows. He died at the age of 88. And he also was on Dharma and Greg, which I did not watch. So COVID-19 cases up to 81,974,000 people have died, and 553 million people have been vaccinated. Worldwide, we up to 436 million cases and 6 million people have died. Gas is out of control, people. There are some places in LA County where the gas is $7 or approaching $7, and the natural average is actually $4 for the first time since 2008. Keep those tanks up. I mean, think about it. $20 only going to get you 5 gallons, so keep your tank full. While this conflict is going on in Ukraine, you need to keep your gas tanks full. So a jury found that ex-officer Brent Hankerson not guilty on all counts of the shooting of Breonna Taylor. Who didn't expect this? This is not shocking. That guy Cameron in Louisville did nothing to press this. He did nothing at all to move this along. The Breonna Taylor death will just go down in history as a tragedy. And it's sad. But it's going to be the reality of it, because where do they go from here? The only thing they have is civil. And hopefully they can hit these people civilly, and at least the family will be set up financially. I watched a bunch of TV. I'll start off with the baseball documentary, which I'm into. The baseball documentary is very good by Ken Burns, because this documentary also is a American history lesson on some of the racist practices that were happening in the United States of America at the time, especially the early 1900s, all the way into the 1950s. So I highly recommend baseball, especially if you're a baseball fan. I watched The Equalizer. I was shocked to see that Jada Pinkett Smith was on the show. She was a very interesting character. It was a good episode. I thought it was all right. SWAT, we had Deacon with his prison ministry, which seems like it's setting up something going forward. I'm waiting to see how that pans out. They also, in that episode, they dealt with sexist pranks that men play on women to make them feel less than. And so it was a very good episode. Force Power, Tommy, his regular nonsense, but his nephew is kind of stepping to the man that he thinks is his father, which is Tommy's black brother. So I can't wait to see how that plays out. The Peacemaker, I finished off The Peacemaker. That was a fantastic show. DC did very well. John Cena should be very proud of himself. If you have not seen it, watch Peacemaker. The Blacklist. The first episode I seen was the criminal cell phones. I thought that was very good, because criminal cell phones would be a huge international business in the crime world. But the second episode, I didn't even know what the hell was going on, nor did I care. Sometimes things stay around a little too long. I think that The Blacklist is getting a little long in the tooth. Bob Hart's Abishula, it was pregnancy talk. We're thinking about maybe Abishula getting pregnant or not pregnant. I don't know how this is going to play out. I love to see how things play out. I'm very disappointed this week that there was no This Is Us. This is the last season of This Is Us. You figure the companies, you're not ready commercials. And you know what? They're not ready, because they're not putting out shows. They're taking 2 weeks off. After taking 2 weeks off, how are you supposed to keep into the function and the flow of the show if there is no function or flow of the show? The Good Doctor returned. Sean and Leah relationship, plus the hospital's lawsuit over a baby dying from some bad medicine. That was a very interesting episode. We're back to Sean and Leah together, not together. I mean, they dragging this shit out forever. I don't know if they'll ever get married, to tell you the truth. Lord and Order, SVU was about a talk show rapist, like, one of these hot button talk show rapists, radio guys, but he was also a rapist. So that was a very interesting. But I will say one thing: Rollins' character's reaction to this talk show dude's charisma, I didn't understand it. I didn't think that she was in pocket. I thought she was way out of pocket, that she actually felt some kind of way for this dude. And to me, that made no damn sense. SNL this weekend had this Charlie CXC. The first song she did, I liked. Second song, Blue. The host was this guy named Oscar Isaac, who's going to be in Moon something or another. It's a DC or Marvel series that's coming out. It was not a very good SNL. The best skit that I liked on it was the meatball skit. If you haven't seen the meatball skit, I'm sure somebody on YouTube has this. Now, me personally, I didn't get conned, but I got what's called Amazon brushing. This is when somebody hacks. Even though I don't keep a credit card in Amazon, so I don't even know how this was able to be done. And they send you some junk that you don't want. Now, the rules are, if you get the junk, you can keep the junk. They sent me some K-cup folders or K-cup holders. You know those little coffee? I don't even have a K-cup, K machine. So this was garbage to me. I called, had to get my credit card stopped, had to change my information in Amazon. I reported it to Amazon. I reported it to my credit card company. I figured out that somebody got into my emails one way or another. And what you do is you just make sure that you have everything set up as properly as you can. Don't use multiple emails for different accounts. Go in and check your credit history. Check the charges that are being made. Thank God it was only $32. It was nothing, no big deal. Nobody hit me up for $1,500 or $2,000 or anything like that. But they did get me. And like I said, it was through no fault of my own. I wasn't looking for a hand. I wasn't looking for something for nothing. I wasn't going somewhere and saying, you know what, these gifts look good. Let me get these $4,000 worth of products for $1. I didn't do that. So be very careful. Be vigilant, actually, about your credit cards. Be vigilant about your bank accounts online, how you maintain them. Make sure that you sign out when you leave an account. Don't just X out a window. Make sure that you sign out and you see that you're safely signed out of any website. So NBA All-Star, Britney Griner, she's been detained for over 3 weeks in Russia. Supposedly she has some kind of vape pen that had hashish oil in it. I'm wishing the best for Britney. I love her as an athlete. As a human being, I don't know her at all. But you know what? She's in a sticky situation. They're going to probably want to play hardball. They're going to probably use this as some form of political uh, muscling with America, because we need to get our girl home. We need to get our girl home. So Major League Baseball has canceled opening days and the first two series of the 2022 season. The players are locked out. They could not come up to a new labor agreement. Now, this makes no sense. Baseball is not at the height of its game. I talked about the documentary. That's done. That's past tense. I am talking about kids, and baseball is not at the height of its popularity. People are not going crazy for baseball like they did. There's been heydays, there's been moments where the game has really shined, but it's a slow motion game. I mean, I'm a huge Yankee fan, season ticket holder for many years in New York City. I love the game. I love my Yankees. I mean, More than likely, if you ever see me, you're going to see me in a Yankee hat. I mean, not that I could play worth a damn, but you're going to see me in a Yankee hat. I mean, that's how much I love the New York Yankees and baseball. But this is bad for the game. This is a bad look for the game. I don't understand how they recover. They need to be a more fun league if they're going to resonate with young people coming out of this lockout. Good luck to them. So Odd Brills is out as the smelling the best of the three, which makes no sense. Gremlin's dumb. Hugh Jackson doubled down, maybe tripled down on dumb by using his foundation's letterhead to say, you know what, we need to move past these allegations. We need to move past these women being hurt. Every time you bring it up, you're making the victims again. You know, he's a piece of shit. So I can't root for Grambling State in this situation. And you let the dude who did all the dirt, who watched all the dirt go on at his program, come away smelling like the sweeter of the shitty roses. Makes no sense. This weekend we had the UFC pay-per-view with Kobe Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. This was it went to the distance. Jorge Masvidal talked a bunch of shit. Kobe talked a lot of shit too, which you could barely understand. He's not a very well-spoken man. But Jorge has to live with the fact that Kobe basically just wrestled and held him down for 25 minutes. Kobe is a bore fest. This is what he likes to do. He likes to wrestle people down, hold you down, do minimal damage, just enough to win. I mean, it's very smart. It gets him W's, but it's boring. This was a very good card. Cowboy Oliveira fought Kevin. What is Kevin? Kevin Hudson? Well, he got knocked out. That was a very good fight. Jan, who I thought should have won her fight, the Asian lady, but she was ripped off by the judges. It seems like Asian females in the UFC cannot get a close decision to save their life. This was a well-rounded card. Greg Hardy got annihilated. He got tossed around by this Spivak guy. All in all, I would say this is a very good card. Rafael dos Santos looked very good. He looked very dominating. The young man that he fought, another fellow Brazilian dude, who seems to get busted up pretty bad in all of his fights, and he's just got nothing but heart. So, you know what? Next week, we got UFC. So it's Thiago Santos is fighting Magomed Ankalaev. Marlon Moraes is fighting Song Yeon, and Alex Pereira is fighting Soji Youssef. That should be an interesting card. I'm a huge fan of UFC, and if you're not a big fan, you should just check out one or two cards. Maybe just catch it on a freebie on ESPN and see how you like it from there. It's definitely better than what's going on in any boxing ring. So I like to give you what I call the premier NBA games, and only the premier games only of the upcoming week. Okay, tonight we got the Bulls versus the 76ers. Harding took off Saturday, but he should be playing again today. I think he has a little bit of leg problems. You got the Jazz versus the Mavs. The Warriors, who are coming off a loss, are facing the Nuggets. Tuesday, you got the Clippers, who are coming off a loss, versus the Knicks, and the Warriors, who have been struggling. They play each other. Wednesday, we got the Suns versus the Heat. No Chris Paul, but still should be a good game. Thursday, you got the Nets going into the 76ers. I am sure Ben Simmons is not returning for this game. There'll be Kyrie Irving can play because it's in Philadelphia. And you got the Warriors versus the Nuggets. Friday, you got the Cavs versus the Heat. Saturday, you got the Cavs versus the Bulls. the Bucks versus the Warriors, and then Sunday's games you got the Mavs versus the Celtics and the Lakers versus the Suns. I don't know if AD will be back. They said they reevaluating AD. They also reevaluating Zion Williams. I don't know if it's even worthwhile for him to come and do anything for the Pelicans, but they are in a playoff push. Maybe it's good for his resume to come back and show his team some determination that he's with them, that he's willing to do whatever it takes to help the team move forward. Next week, we're going to talk about cliches and other popular phrases that really make no sense, that are for the most part just complete and utter bullshit. But they are things that people say all the time as though they are gospel. Now, be careful out there, people. Be as honest as you can. Not sometimes, not most of the time. Be honest all the time. And you will not be susceptible to the con or the con man. Leave yourself in peace by being about something. And being about something is being about honest, upright, having integrity, a code, some honor, some dignity, some pride in yourself. And I'm going to tell you, like I tell you each and every single time, people, peace to you and peace to yours.